Settle in, dear listener. Find a quiet corner, dim the lights, and let the world beyond fade away. Tonight, we journey to a place that exists only in whispers, a realm as fleeting as a dream. This is the tale of the kingdom that vanished every dawn, a story older than memory, softer than moonlight, and heavy with secrets that stir the soul. Close your eyes if you wish, and let us begin. The twilight air was sharp with the scent of pine and damp earth, curling around Alara as she stood at the threshold of the vanishing kingdom. The forest's edge, where gnarled trees leaned inward as if guarding a secret, gave way to a vast, misty valley where the kingdom flickered into existence each night. Moonlight spilled across the jagged cliffs that framed the valley, their surfaces glinting with veins of quartz that seemed to pulse faintly, as if alive with the kingdom's heartbeat. The ground beneath her boots was carpeted with silver moss, soft and glowing, marking the boundary between the world she knew and the one that vanished with every dawn. A low hum, like the vibration of a tuning fork, thrummed through the air, a reminder of the magic that bound this place to its endless cycle. Towers of pale stone, half-ruined and draped in ivy, loomed in the distance, their spires piercing the mist like needles through silk. Alara's breath caught as she stepped forward, her lantern casting a trembling circle of light. She had heard the tales since childhood, of a kingdom that appeared under moonlight only to dissolve at sunrise, leaving nothing but whispers and sorrow. Her pack was heavy with supplies, a coil of rope, a dagger, and the stolen map that had cost her a month's wages and a promise she wasn't sure she could keep. The map, drawn on brittle parchment, was her only guide to this cursed place. Its edges were frayed, its ink faded, but it promised answers to the question that had haunted her for years: what had taken her sister, Lila, who had ventured here a decade ago and never returned? Alara tightened her cloak against the chill and began her descent into the valley, her heart pounding with equal parts fear and resolve. At the valley's base, she found the remnants of a gate, its iron bars twisted like the branches of a storm-ravaged tree. Beyond it lay a cobblestone path leading to the kingdom's heart. As she walked, the mist parted, revealing a figure leaning against a crumbling pillar. He was wiry, with sharp eyes and a grin that suggested he'd already sized her up. His name was Kale, a thief she'd met in a tavern 3 towns back, who'd agreed to join her for a share of whatever treasures the kingdom held. "You sure about this, Alara?" Kale's voice was light, but his fingers twitched near the dagger at his belt. "This place gives me the creeps. Look at those towers, they're not just old, they're wrong. Like they're watching us. And that hum in the air? It's not natural. I've broken into crypts with better vibes than this. You've got that map, sure, but what if it's leading us straight to a trap? I'm here for gold, not ghosts." Alara adjusted her lantern, its light catching the glint of Kale's blade. "You can turn back, Kale. I didn't ask you to come. But Lila's in here somewhere, or at least answers about what happened to her. The map says there's a tower at the center, the guard's tower. That's where we start. If you're scared, go wait at the forest's edge. I'll split the loot when I'm done." Kale laughed, though it sounded forced. "Scared? Me? I've dodged guards and traps from here to the coast. But this place, it's different. You feel it too, don't you? Like the air's holding its breath. Fine, I'm in for now. But if we're chasing ghosts, I'm keeping my dagger out. And don't say I didn't warn you when this goes sideways." Alara nodded, her eyes fixed on the path ahead. "Just keep up. We've got until dawn." The cobblestone path wound through empty streets, past fountains frozen in mid-spray, their basins filled with water that shimmered with an unnatural silver glow. Alara's map led them to a plaza where a single figure stood, cloaked in shadows. He was old, his face lined like the bark of an ancient oak, but his posture was rigid, his hand resting on a staff carved with runes. The map called him the Watcher, a guardian of the kingdom's secrets. "You tread on cursed ground," the Watcher said, his voice low and resonant like a bell tolling underwater. "This kingdom is no place for the living. It is a memory, a shadow that lingers only at night. Turn back, or you will join the lost. The dawn spares no one, not even those who seek answers. Why have you come when all others have fled?" Elara stepped closer, her lantern illuminating the Watcher's pale eyes. I'm looking for my sister, Lila. She came here 10 years ago and never came back. The map says you know the kingdom's secrets. Tell me about the memory keepers. They're tied to the curse, aren't they? I need to know how to find them, how to stop this place from vanishing. The Watcher's gaze softened, but only slightly. The memory keepers were the soul of this kingdom. They wrote its history, its joys, its sorrows, binding them to a tome called the Book of Dawn. When the curse fell, they hid it, knowing it was the only hope to undo what was done. But the curse is not just magic. It is a living thing born of betrayal. To find the Keeper's sanctum, you must follow the runes to the Starlit Plaza. But know this, the curse demands a price. It always has. Alara's fingers tightened on the map. What price? And where's the plaza? The Watcher pointed to a path branching from the plaza. The runes will guide you. As for the price, it takes what you hold dear. A memory, a hope, a life. The Keepers learned this too late. Be wary, girl. The kingdom does not give up its secrets easily. The runes, glowing faintly on the cobblestones, led Alara and Kale to the Starlit Plaza, a vast circle of black marble tiles that reflected the stars like a mirror. At its center was a sealed stone, its surface etched with symbols that pulsed with a soft, silvery light. Alara knelt, brushing away dust to reveal a slot shaped like a crescent moon. The map had mentioned a key, but it offered no clues about where to find it. This is it, isn't it? Kale said, his voice tight with nerves. The sanctum's down there with that book the old man talked about. But we don't have a key, Alara. And look at this place, those tiles, those runes, they're not just pretty. They're alive, I swear it. What if we open this and something comes out? Something worse than ghosts? I'm not saying I'm out, but we need a plan. What's your next move? Alara traced the slot with her finger, her mind racing. The Watcher said the Keepers hid the book. If they sealed this, they must have left a way to open it. Maybe the key's nearby, hidden in the plaza. Start looking, check the tiles, the statues, anything. We've got hours until dawn, but not much more. If we don't find it, we'll have to come back tomorrow night. Kale shook his head, muttering. Tomorrow night? You're assuming we make it out of here. Fine, I'll look. But if I find a key and it's cursed, I'm throwing it at you. As Kale searched the plaza's edges, Alara studied the seal, her thoughts drifting to Lila. She remembered her sister's smile, her reckless courage, the way she'd promised to return with stories of the vanishing kingdom. That promise had driven Alara here, but doubt gnawed at her. What if Lila was gone forever? What if the curse took more than she could give? Kale's shout snapped her back to the present. He held up a crescent-shaped stone, its surface etched with the same runes as the seal. Found it. Wedged under a statue's base. It's heavy for its size, and it's warm. Too warm. You sure you want to use this, Alara? It feels like it's got a mind of its own. Alara took the stone, its warmth spreading through her palm. It's the key. It has to be. She fitted it into the slot, and the seal rumbled, sinking to reveal a staircase descending into darkness. But before they could step forward, the air grew heavy, the hum intensifying into a deafening roar. Shadows writhed at the plaza's edges, coalescing into a formless mass that pulsed with malice. The curse, alive and aware, had sensed their intrusion. Alara, move! Kale shouted, drawing his dagger as the shadows lunged. She dove aside, the key still clutched in her hand, but the shadows were faster. They enveloped the Watcher, who had followed them silently, his staff raised in defiance. Run! He cried, his voice breaking as the darkness consumed him. The curse knows you now. The plaza trembled, tiles cracking as the shadows surged toward Alara and Kale. They scrambled back, the key burning in Alara's hand as the kingdom's towers began to shimmer, the first light of dawn creeping over the horizon. The Watcher was gone, his sacrifice buying them moments to escape. But the key remained, its warmth a promise and a threat. As the kingdom faded into mist, Alara knew the curse was watching, waiting for her next move. The vanishing kingdom shimmered into existence beneath a sky heavy with storm clouds, its narrow alleys choked with tendrils of luminescent fog that coiled like spectral serpents. their glow casting eerie patterns on the cobblestones. Cracked statues, their faces worn to blank masks, stood sentinel along the paths, their stone hands reaching for a past long erased. The air was thick with a sharp, metallic scent, like the aftermath of a lightning strike, a constant reminder of the curse that unraveled Aurora each dawn. Ancient lanterns, their cracked glass glowing with ghostly amber light, swayed on rusted chains, their flicker a heartbeat against the kingdom's fleeting existence. A distant waterfall, its roar softened by mist, cascaded from a cliff, its spray catching moonlight in prisms of fleeting color. Cairn's boots crunched on gravel-strewn paths, each step a pulse of dread and determination, his heart a fragile vessel holding memories that flickered like candles in a storm. The manuscript map, tattered and smudged, guided him through the labyrinth, its ink promising answers to the curse that stole his sister, Lila, and now threatened his own fading recollections. 12 cycles of disappearance had passed, each dawn erasing the memories of Aurora's fleeting inhabitants. Cairn's spark of memory, fragile, flickering, set him apart, but doubt gnawed at him, a shadow whispering that his past might be the curse's forgery. The map pointed to the caves of eternal silence, where the memory keepers guarded Aurora's deepest truths. Beside him walked Kale, the thief, his dagger glinting, his eyes darting to every shadow. Darius, another memory bearer, trailed close, his quick smile masking a growing unease. Lionna's warning from the previous night echoed in Cairn's mind. The curse was alive, and it hungered. The caves of eternal silence opened like a yawning maw in the cliff face, its jagged edges slick with glowing green moss that pulsed faintly, as if alive. The air grew colder as they descended, the curse's hum a low thrum that vibrated through Cairn's bones. In the deepest chamber, Lionna stood before a stone altar, its surface carved with constellations that shimmered under her touch, her silver hair braided with threads of light. "You tread on sacred ground, Cairn?" Lionna said, her voice a resonant echo, like a bell tolling in a forgotten temple. "The caves of eternal silence hold the kingdom's heart, but they are poisoned by the curse's birth. It began here, when a keeper betrayed us, seeking to master time itself. His hubris bound Aurora to this cycle of vanishing, erasing memories with each dawn. You carry a spark of memory, but it is fragile, a flame in a storm. Why risk it for a kingdom that forgets itself? The memory keepers swore to protect its secrets, but we failed. The dawn crystal, stolen by that traitor, is the curse's anchor. To seek it is to invite oblivion. What drives you, when all others have turned back?" Cairn's throat tightened, his emotions a tangled weave of hope and fear, each thread fraying under the weight of doubt. "I remember Lila, her laugh, her courage, but each dawn steals a piece of her. I don't know if my memories are real or the curse's lies, but I feel her absence like a blade in my chest. The map led me here, to you, to answers. You say the curse was born of betrayal. Tell me about the dawn crystal, the mirror of the past. If they hold the key, I need to know where they are. I've lost too much to stop now. What happened here, Lionna? Why does the kingdom vanish? How do I end it?" Lionna's eyes softened, but her voice held a steel edge. "The mirror of the past is a relic of science and magic, forged when Aurora's scholars wove time into metal. It reveals 60 seconds of the day the curse began, a glimpse of the traitor's sin. It rests in the Tower of Kronos, guarded by forces older than the curse itself. The dawn crystal, stolen by that keeper, is the curse's heart, its power tied to the queen's vengeance. To find it, you must pass through the old prison to the tower, but the curse is alive, watching, hungry. It feeds on memory, twisting what you hold dear. You may find the mirror, but it will demand a price, perhaps your spark, perhaps more. Are you prepared to lose what makes you whole? I've seen others try and fail, their names erased. Why should you succeed where we could not?" Cairn's resolve hardened, ember glowing through his doubt. "I'll pay the price if it means saving Lila, saving Aurora. Point me to the prison. I'll find the mirror." Lionna pointed to a tunnel. "The old prison lies beyond. Follow the runes. But beware, the curse knows you now. The old prison was a labyrinth of rusted iron cells, their bars twisted into grotesque shapes as if melted by an unseen fire. Whispers of forgotten prisoners echoed, chilling Cairn's skin, their voices a chorus of lost hopes. The path led to the Tower of Kronos, a spire of black glass piercing the clouds, its surface reflecting the storm in fractured patterns. Inside, the air crackled with static electricity, sparking against Cairn's skin as they climbed a spiral staircase to the summit. There, on an obsidian pedestal, stood the mirror of the past, its liquid metal surface rippling like a pond disturbed by a stone. Cairn's breath caught, his emotions a poetic surge of awe and dread, like a tide pulling him toward an abyss. The mirror's glow stirred fragments of memory. Lila's smile, her voice, moments that felt both vivid and false, as if the curse had woven them to taunt him. His heart ached, a wound reopened, its pain a melody of longing that threatened to drown his resolve. Was this the key to her, or a trap to steal what little he had left? The mirror seemed alive, its surface whispering secrets, promising truth but demanding sacrifice. Cairn's fingers trembled, yearning to touch it, to see the day Aurora fell, yet fearing what it would take. Darius, his eyes wide with awe, broke the silence. We found it, Cairn, the mirror of the past. 60 seconds of truth, enough to unravel the curse. But this place, it's alive, buzzing like a machine ready to snap. I've picked locks from King's vaults, but this feels like stealing from fate itself. Look at those runes around the pedestal. They're glowing, pulsing. What if they're a trap? I'm good, but I'm not invincible. You sure we can just take it? What if it's tied to the curse, like Lina said? I'm in, but I need to know you've got a plan if this goes wrong. Cairn's gaze didn't leave the mirror, his emotions a storm of hope and fear. We don't have a choice, Darius. The mirror's our only lead to the crystal, to Lila. Lina said it shows the day the curse began. We get it, we see the truth, we find a way to end this. You're the best thief I know. Disable those runes, get the mirror. I'll watch for trouble. The curse knows we're here, so we move fast. If it fights back, we fight harder. We've come too far to turn back. Ready? Darius nodded, his hands steady despite his words. Fine, but if this kills us, I'm haunting you first. Those runes look like a lock, but they're alive, shifting. I've never seen anything like this. I'll need a minute to figure it out, maybe two. If the shadows come, you'd better be quick with that blade. I'm not dying for a mirror, Cairn, no matter how shiny. Keep your eyes open. This tower's got a bad feeling, like it's waiting for us to slip up. Let's do this. The robbery unfolded with meticulous precision. Step 1. Darius knelt by the pedestal, his tools glinting in the lantern light, studying the runes' shifting patterns. Step 2. He traced their glow with a silver needle, whispering an old thief's chant to calm his nerves, identifying a sequence that pulsed slower than the rest. Step 3. Using a thin blade, he pressed the runes in order, each one dimming as he worked, the air growing heavier with each success. Step 4. Cairn stood guard, his blade drawn, eyes scanning the shadows that flickered at the tower's edges, the hum intensifying. Step 5. Darius disabled the final rune, the pedestal clicking open, the mirror rising slightly, its glow brighter. Step 6. He reached for it, his fingers brushing its warm surface, but the tower shook, shadows surging from the walls, their forms twisting into claws and eyes. It's awake, Cairn shouted, slashing at a shadow that lunged, its touch cold and biting. Darius grabbed the mirror, but his expression shifted, greed flickering in his eyes, a darkness Cairn hadn't seen before. I'm sorry, Cairn, Darius said, clutching the mirror, his voice cold. The curse showed me the truth. I took the Dawn Crystal years ago, thinking it would make me a king. It cursed us all instead. I can't lose my memories again, not after everything. The mirror's mine, it'll let me rewrite the past. You don't know what it's like, forgetting who you are. I made a deal with the curse, and it's keeping me whole. Step back, or I'll make you. I don't want to hurt you, but I will. Cairn's heart shattered, a poetic wound of betrayal, its pain a raw verse of loss. Darius, we were brothers. You caused this? The vanishings, Lila's loss, it's on you? How could you hide that? The mirror won't save you, it's part of the curse. Give it to me and we can fix this together. Don't make me fight you. I trusted you, followed you. Was it all a lie? Don't do this. Darius shook his head, stepping toward a hidden door. It's not a lie, it's survival. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I can't go back. The curse promised me my memories if I keep the mirror. You'd do the same if you were losing yourself. I'm sorry, Cairn, but I choose me. Stay out of my way. The tower's collapsing, run while you can. You'll understand one day. The curse always wins. The shadows surged, parting for Darius as he fled, the mirror glowing in his grasp. Cairn lunged, but the darkness held him back, its touch a suffocating chill. The tower quaked, glass shards falling like rain as dawn's light crept over the horizon. Cairn stumbled to the balcony, Kale pulling him back, the kingdom dissolving into mist. Darius was gone, the mirror with him, and Cairn's emotions burned, a fire of rage and sorrow, its flames licking at the edges of his fading memories. The betrayal wasn't the end, it was the beginning. The wind howled through the jagged spires of the vanishing kingdom, carrying with it the scent of ancient stone and forgotten dreams. The cobblestone streets, worn smooth by centuries of footsteps that no longer echoed, stretched before Alara like a labyrinth of secrets. Moss clung to the crevices of crumbling walls, their emerald tendrils glowing faintly under the moon's pale light, as if the kingdom itself were alive, whispering its history to those who dared to listen. Towers of obsidian and quartz, their surfaces etched with runes that pulsed faintly with a silvery glow, loomed over the empty plazas, their shadows stretching like fingers across the ground. The air was thick with a strange, metallic tang, a reminder of the magic that bound this place to its cursed cycle of disappearance. A faint mist curled around the bases of statues, their stone faces frozen in expressions of longing, as if they too mourned the kingdom's fleeting existence. The distant chime of a bell, its mournful toll reverberating through the empty streets, marked the hour before dawn, a warning that time was running out. Alara adjusted the weight of her pack, her boots crunching against the frost-dusted cobblestones. She had been in the kingdom for 2 nights now, each one spent chasing answers to the mystery of its daily vanishing. The parchment map in her hand, stolen from the archives of a distant library, had led her here, to the guard's tower, a monolithic structure that stood at the kingdom's heart. Its iron gates, rusted but unyielding, were adorned with carvings of warriors wielding spears of light, their faces stern and unyielding. Alara's breath caught as she approached, her lantern casting flickering shadows across the entrance. She had heard whispers of the old guard, the last protectors of the kingdom, said to linger in the tower, bound by duty even in death. As she pushed against the gate, it groaned but gave way, revealing a cavernous hall lit by torches that burned with an unnatural blue flame. At the far end, seated on a throne of weathered stone, was an armored figure, his helm resting on the armrest, his eyes sharp despite the centuries etched into his weathered face. His name, she had learned from the map's cryptic notes, was Torin, the last of the old guard. "You should not be here, wanderer," Torin's voice rasped, like gravel grinding underfoot. "This kingdom is no place for the living. It fades with the dawn, and so will you if you linger too long." Alara stepped forward, her lantern held high. "I'm not here to linger, Torin. I'm here to break the curse. Tell me about the memory keepers. The legends say they hold the key to saving this place." Torin's eyes narrowed, his gauntlet hand tightening on the hilt of a sword that gleamed despite the dust. "The memory keepers? You speak of myths even older than I. They were the scribes of the kingdom, tasked with recording every moment, every life, every dream. But they were more than historians. They wove the kingdom's essence into their records, binding its existence to their words. When the curse fell, it was said they hid their final tome, the Book of Dawn, to protect it from the one who cast the spell. Find it, and you might unravel the magic. But beware, girl. Some secrets are better left buried. Alara's heart quickened. Where is the Book of Dawn? If it's the key, I need to know. Torin leaned forward, his armor creaking. The Keeper's sanctum lies beneath the starlit plaza, but it is sealed by their magic. Only one who carries a Keeper's blood can open it. And even then, the curse fights back. Many have tried, and all have failed. The kingdom does not want to be saved. It clings to its doom like a lover. Why do you stay, then? Alara pressed, her voice sharp. If it's hopeless, why guard this place? Torin's gaze drifted to the flickering torches. Because I swore an oath. because I remember the kingdom as it was, alive, vibrant, filled with voices that sang to the stars. I cannot leave, not while a single stone remains. But you, wanderer, you can still walk away. Do so before the dawn claims you. Alara shook her head, her resolve hardening. I'm not leaving until I try. Tell me how to reach the sanctum. Torin sighed, a sound like wind through a hollow tree. Follow the runes beneath the plaza. They will lead you to the door. But know this, the curse is not just magic. It is alive and it hungers. It will take something from you, as it has taken from all who came before. Alara found the starlit plaza under a sky ablaze with constellations, their light reflecting off the polished obsidian tiles that covered the ground. The runes Torin spoke of glowed faintly, forming a spiraling path that led to a circular stone embedded in the plaza's center. Kneeling, she brushed away the frost, revealing an intricate seal carved with symbols that seemed to writhe under her touch. Her companion, Kale, a wiry thief who had joined her for the promise of treasure, crouched beside her, his breath visible in the cold. This is it, isn't it? Kale said, his voice low but eager. The sanctum, the Book of Dawn. We're so close, Alara. I can feel it. But this seal, it's not going to open easily, is it? Look at those runes. They're not just decoration. They're a lock. What did the old man say about Keeper's blood? You don't happen to have any of that lying around, do you? Alara frowned, tracing the runes with her finger. Torin said only someone with Keeper's blood can open it. But I don't even know what that means. The Keepers are long gone, aren't they? There's got to be another way. Maybe the map has a clue we missed. Or maybe there's a ritual, something to bypass the seal. Kale, check the edges of the plaza. See if there's anything we can use. Kale stood, brushing frost from his knees. You're assuming this is just a puzzle to solve. What if it's a trap? You heard Torin, that curse is alive. It's been eating this kingdom for centuries. What's to stop it from eating us? I signed up for gold, not for becoming some ghost's breakfast. Still, I'll look. But if this goes wrong, I'm blaming you, Alara. She shot him a wry smile. You always blame me. Just find something useful. As Kale scoured the plaza, Alara studied the seal, her mind racing. The legend of the Memory Keepers was vague, passed down through fragmented tales. They were said to have been chosen by the kingdom's first king, entrusted with preserving its history in a tome that held the power to shape reality itself. If the Book of Dawn was real, it could rewrite the curse or destroy the kingdom entirely. The thought sent a shiver down her spine, but she pushed it aside. She had come too far to turn back. Kale returned, holding a small, tarnished amulet etched with the same runes as the seal. Found this wedged between some tiles. It was glowing just like the runes. Think it's a key? Or maybe it's cursed too. Hard to tell in this place. Everything feels wrong. You sure you want to mess with this, Alara? We could still leave, you know? Alara took the amulet, its weight surprisingly heavy in her hand. We're not leaving. This is our chance. If this is a key, it might open the sanctum. If it's a curse, we'll deal with it. But we're running out of time. Dawn's coming. The amulet fit perfectly into a groove in the seal, and with a low rumble, the stone sank into the ground, revealing a staircase spiraling into darkness. Alara and Kale descended, their lanterns casting long shadows on the damp stone walls. At the bottom, they found a chamber lined with shelves of ancient scrolls, their parchment brittle and yellowed. In the center stood a pedestal, and on it, a book bound in silver and leather, its cover pulsing with a faint light. The Book of Dawn. Before Alara could approach, a voice echoed through the chamber, cold and sharp like breaking glass. You are not a keeper. You do not belong here. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman, her form translucent, her eyes glowing with the same silvery light as the runes. She wore the robes of a memory keeper, her hands clutching a spectral quill. "The book is ours," she said. "It cannot be taken by those who do not understand its power. Leave, or the curse will claim you." Alara stepped forward, her voice steady despite the fear clawing at her chest. "I'm here to save the kingdom, not steal from it. Tell me how to use the book. Please, I know you're bound to protect it, but you must want the curse lifted too. You're a memory keeper, aren't you? You've seen what this place was. Help me bring it back." The keeper's eyes flickered, as if weighing Alara's words. "The book holds the kingdom's soul, but it is not a simple key. To wield it, you must offer a memory, one so precious it defines you. Only then can the curse be challenged. But beware, the curse is cunning, twists your intent, feeds on your loss. Many have tried and all have paid a price. Are you willing to lose what makes you whole?" Alara swallowed, her mind racing. A memory? She thought of her sister, Lila, who had vanished in this kingdom years ago, the reason Alara had come here in the first place. Could she give up that memory? "I'll do it," she said. "Tell me how." The keeper pointed to the book. "Place your hand on it and offer your memory, but choose wisely. The curse will take more than you expect." Alara approached the pedestal, her hand trembling as she reached for the book. Kale grabbed her arm, his face pale. "Alara, don't. This is too much. We don't know what this thing will do. What if you lose everything? What if you forget why you're here? I've seen you chase this dream for years. It's all you have. Let's find another way. Please." She shook her head, tears stinging her eyes. "There is no other way, Kale. Lila's gone because of this curse. If I don't try, I'm abandoning her. I can't live with that. You don't have to stay. Go back to the surface. I'll do this alone." Kale's grip tightened, his voice breaking. "I'm not leaving you, but this feels wrong. The keeper's not telling us everything. What if the curse takes you like it took Lila? What if it takes us both? I'm not a hero, Alara. I'm just a thief who got in over his head. But I'm here because of you. Don't make me lose you too." Alara squeezed his hand, then pulled away. "I have to try." She placed her hand on the book, its surface warm and pulsing. She closed her eyes, offering the memory of Lila's laugh, the sound that had kept her going through years of searching. The book flared with light, and pain seared through her mind, as if a piece of her soul were being torn away. The chamber shook, the air growing heavy with the scent of ozone. The curse was fighting back. The keeper screamed, her form flickering. "You've woken it. The curse knows you now." The ground cracked, and a shadow surged from the book, a writhing mass of darkness that lunged for Alara. Kale shoved her aside, drawing his dagger and slashing at the shadow. "Run, Alara!" he shouted. "Get out of here!" But the shadow was faster. It enveloped Kale, his scream echoing as the darkness swallowed him whole. Alara scrambled to her feet, the book still glowing in her hands. The chamber was collapsing, stones falling from the ceiling. She stumbled toward the staircase, tears streaming down her face, Kale's name on her lips. As she reached the surface, the first light of dawn broke over the horizon. The kingdom began to fade, its towers dissolving into mist. Alara clutched the book, her heart pounding. She had failed to stop the curse, and Kale was gone. But the book was hers now, its power humming in her hands. Somewhere within its pages was the answer, and a new threat, one that had tasted her pain and hungered for more. The dawn ruins sprawled across a desolate plateau, where the vanishing kingdom of Aurora flickered into being beneath a sky bruised with indigo clouds, their edges frayed by starlight. Crumbled archways of white marble, veined with silver, arched like the ribs of some ancient beast, their surfaces etched with runes that pulsed faintly, as if whispering the kingdom's lost hymns. The ground was a mosaic of shattered obsidian tiles, their jagged edges glinting with reflected constellations, each step crunching like brittle bones underfoot. Winds howled through hollowed columns, carrying a sharp, ashen scent that clung to the air, a bitter reminder of a civilization burned by vengeance. Gnarled vines, glowing with an eerie emerald light, snaked across the ruins, their tendrils curling around toppled statues of forgotten nobles, their stone faces frozen in silent screams. The plateau's edge dropped into a chasm, where mist swirled like a living shroud, its tendrils reaching upward as if to pull the ruins into oblivion. At the heart of the ruins stood the Temple of the Forgotten, its cracked dome looming like a shattered moon, its surface pitted with scars from centuries of decay. Flickering braziers, their flames dancing with a violet hue, cast shadows that writhed across the intricate friezes depicting Aurora's golden age. Kings and queens, feasts and battles, now faded into ghostly outlines. The air thrummed with a low, mournful hum, like the final note of a dirge, resonating through the stones and stirring memories Cairn wasn't sure were his own. A distant cascade of water, its roar muffled by the mist, echoed from a hidden spring, its droplets catching the starlight in fleeting prisms. The ruins felt alive, their silence a heavy weight, as if the kingdom itself mourned its fleeting existence, its soul bound to a curse that erased it each dawn. Beyond the temple, a sunken amphitheater carved into the plateau's heart held the statue of the Forgotten Queen, its obsidian form towering over a polished granite dais. The statue's opalescent eyes glowed with an inner fire, and the dawn crystal in her stone hands pulsed with colors: crimson, sapphire, gold, swirling like a storm trapped in glass. Withered blossoms, their petals glowing faintly blue, littered the ground, their sweet, decaying scent mingling with the ash, a reminder of the Queen's lost reign. The ruins were a graveyard of memory, each stone a testament to Aurora's fall, and Cairn's heart ached with a poetic longing, as if the ruins whispered Lila's name, urging him to unravel their secrets or be consumed by them. Cairn's boots crunched on the obsidian, his heart a tangled weave of grief and resolve, each thread frayed by the loss of Darius's betrayal and Liona's warnings. The orb in his pack pulsed, a fragile beacon against the curse that stole memories with each dawn. Liona, leader of the Memory Keepers, walked beside him, her silver-threaded robes shimmering, her eyes heavy with centuries of secrets. Two new figures joined them. Mira, a cartographer whose family had mapped Aurora's borders before the curse, her hands stained with ink and her mind haunted by half-remembered charts that faded each morning. And Torin, a former knight of the Queen's Guard, his armor dented, his loyalty to Aurora unbroken despite the curse stripping his past, leaving only his oath to protect. Myra's sharp wit hid a fear of losing her purpose, while Torin's stoic silence masked a guilt for failing the Queen he once served. As they approached the temple, a sudden storm erupted, the sky splitting with jagged lightning that illuminated the ruins in stark flashes. Thunder roared, shaking the ground, and torrential rain lashed the plateau, turning the obsidian tiles slick and treacherous. The mist thickened, obscuring the path, and Cairn's lantern flickered, its light swallowed by the deluge. Liona raised her staff, its crystal glowing to pierce the storm, guiding them to the amphitheater where the Queen's statue loomed, unyielding against the tempest. The dawn crystal glowed in the statue's grasp, its light cutting through the rain. Liona's voice rose above the storm. "This is the Queen's legacy, Cairn. Her vengeance birthed the curse, but what is vengeance if it destroys the innocent? Justice seeks balance, yet her pain unbalanced all. The crystal holds her will, but also her sorrow. Is it just to punish a kingdom for one betrayal? Can we undo her wrath without repeating it? You seek Lila, but what if the cost is your own soul? The Memory Keepers failed her, failed Aurora. Are we redeemers or merely thieves of her pain? Cairn's emotions churned, a sea of doubt and hope, each wave crashing against his fading memories. Justice doesn't erase a kingdom, it heals it. The Queen's pain doesn't justify stealing Lila, stealing everyone's past. I feel her absence like a wound that won't close, but I don't know if my memories are mine or the curse's lies. If the crystal can end this, I'll pay any price. But is it justice to let her vengeance live on? You've guarded Aurora's secrets for centuries. Lina, what's the truth? Was her cause worth this ruin? I need to know if I'm fighting for something real. Lina's gaze drifted to the statue. The Queen was betrayed, her children murdered, her crown stolen. Her vengeance was a cry for justice, but it became a cage. The crystal binds her pain to Aurora, erasing memories to mirror her loss. Justice and vengeance are twins, Cairn. One seeks to mend, the other to break. We must take the crystal, but it will demand sacrifice. I've seen others try and fail, their spark snuffed out. Your love for Lila drives you, but love can blind as much as it guides. Are you ready to lose what defines you? Mira stepped forward, her voice sharp. Justice is a map with no destination, Cairn. I've charted Aurora's borders since I was a child, but each dawn erases my work, my purpose. The Queen's vengeance took my family's legacy, our maps, our history. Is it just to punish me for her pain? The crystal's power could redraw the lines, give me back my past. But what if it takes more than it gives? You're chasing Lila, but what about us, the ones still here? Should we suffer for her justice? I'll help you, but only if you promise we're not just trading one curse for another. Cairn's heart ached, a poetic wound of shared loss. I'm not promising miracles, Mira. I want Lila back, but I want Aurora free too. The Queen's justice isn't yours to bear. Let's take the crystal and find out what it can do. If it's a trap, we'll face it together. Torin's voice rumbled, heavy with guilt. I swore to protect the Queen, but I failed her, failed Aurora. Her justice was righteous, her kin were slaughtered by traitors. But this curse, this endless vanishing, it's not what she wanted. Justice should lift a kingdom, not bury it. I carry the weight of my oath, Cairn, but you carry hope. The crystal might redeem us, but what if it demands my life or yours? Is justice worth dying for? I'll fight for you, but I need to know this isn't just vengeance in disguise. What makes you think you can succeed where I failed? Cairn's resolve flickered, a flame in a gale. I don't know if I'll succeed, Torin, but I know the curse took Lila, and I can't let it take more. Justice is giving Aurora a chance to remember itself. Let's try. The amphitheater's ghost guardians emerged, their spectral armor flickering like dying stars, their blades glinting with malice. You defile the Queen's will, their leader intoned. Her justice was absolute. Her betrayers deserved oblivion. The crystal is her heart, her pain made eternal. Why should you undo it? Is vengeance not justice when the wronged have no voice? You seek to steal what binds Aurora. What right have you to judge her? Speak or face our blades. Cairn's emotions surged, a tide of defiance and sorrow. Vengeance isn't justice if it traps everyone. The Queen's pain doesn't justify erasing a kingdom, stealing memories, taking lives. I've lost Lila, maybe more, and I don't know what's real anymore. Justice is giving Aurora back its future, not living in her past. Let us take the crystal to end this. Don't you want the Queen to rest? You guard her pain. Doesn't it weigh on you? I'm fighting for everyone she lost, including her. The Guardian's eyes flickered. Her loss was absolute. Her children, her name erased. Vengeance was her voice when all else failed. Justice balances pain, but yours seeks to erase it. The crystal demands sacrifice. Are you prepared to lose what makes you? We failed her once. We will not again. Yet your words carry weight. Prove your intent, or perish. Lionel's staff glowed. The queen's vengeance trapped her soul. Justice heals. Vengeance destroys. Let us try. The guardians parted, but Darius appeared, clutching the dawn crystal, his eyes wild. I can't let you have it, he said. The curse showed me the truth. The queen's council killed her kin, and I helped them, thinking I'd gain power. I was wrong, but I can't lose my memories again. The crystal's mine. You'll see why. Cairn lunged, but Darius fled, the crystal's glow fading. The storm intensified, lightning illuminating a cloaked figure. Serene, Cairn's old friend, now clutching the crystal, her eyes glowing with the curse's will. The betrayal wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The vanishing kingdom coalesced beneath a sky ablaze with stars, its marble colonnades draped in veils of luminescent mist that swirled like the ghosts of forgotten dreams. Cracked flagstones, etched with fading runes, shimmered underfoot, their glow a fragile pulse against the encroaching dawn. The air carried a sharp, coppery tang, as if the kingdom's very breath was laced with the blood of its past. Ancient braziers, their flames flickering with an unnatural violet hue, cast trembling shadows across the ivy-wreathed arches, their tendrils curling like fingers clutching at secrets. The distant toll of a shattered bell, its mournful chime reverberating through the empty streets, marked the fleeting hours before the kingdom's dissolution. Cairn's heart thudded, a drumbeat of dread and determination, as he navigated the labyrinthine paths to the Temple of Dawn, the orb in his pack pulsing like a second pulse, its light a beacon of fragile hope. Lionel's loss weighed on him, a stone in his chest, her sacrifice to the ghost guardians a wound that bled despair. His memories flickered, faces, voices, moments that might be his or the curse's cruel forgery. Yet the image of his sister, Lila, burned clear, her laughter a melody he clung to against the tide of forgetting. Beside him walked Serene, his childhood friend, her eyes bright with a courage that masked her own doubts. Alder, the sage, trailed behind, his staff tapping the ground, his weathered face etched with the wisdom of ages and the sorrow of knowing too much. The manuscript map, now frayed to near ruin, had led them here, to the temple where the dawn crystal's power could be unbound through a ritual of ancient magic. The Temple of Dawn loomed ahead, its domed roof cracked like an eggshell, starlight spilling through to illuminate a mosaic floor depicting a sun shattered into shards. Cairn's breath caught, his emotions a storm of longing and fear, like waves crashing against a crumbling shore. The orb's pulse quickened, resonating with the temple's hum, a song of loss that wove through his bones. Serene's hand brushed his, her touch a fleeting anchor against the tide of doubt that threatened to drown him. Was she real or another trick of the curse? The question gnawed at him, a thorn in his soul. We need 3 items for the ritual, Alder said, his voice a low rumble, like thunder over a distant sea. The orb of memory which you carry, Cairn, the veil of sorrow, hidden in the temple's crypt, and the chalice of stars, said to rest on the altar. Together, they can bind the dawn crystal and reveal its truth. But justice, Cairn, what does it mean when it demands blood? The queen's curse was born of vengeance, a wound that festers still. If we succeed, will we right her wrong, or merely deepen it? What is justice when it costs the heart? Cairn's throat tightened, his emotions a tapestry of grief and resolve, threads of hope fraying under the weight of betrayal. Justice is giving back what was taken, lives, memories, time. The queen's vengeance destroyed a kingdom, stole my sister, maybe more. I don't know if my memories of Lila are real, but I feel her absence like a blade. If this ritual can break the curse, it's worth any cost. But you, Alder, you've seen this kingdom fade for centuries. Is justice worth it if it means losing more? Alder's eyes softened, reflecting the violet flames. Justice is a mirror, Cairn. It shows what we wish to see, but distorts what we fear. The queen sought to balance her pain, but pain only breeds pain. I've watched the memory keepers fail, their sparks snuffed out by the curse. Yet I believe in you, because you carry not just memory, but love. That is your strength and your danger. The ritual will test it. Be ready. Serene squeezed Cairn's arm, her voice steady but laced with sorrow. We'll do this together, Cairn. For Lila, for everyone. The temple's crypt was a labyrinth of shadowed alcoves, their stone walls slick with condensation that gleamed like tears. Cairn found the veil of sorrow, a gossamer cloth shimmering with threads of light, hidden in a niche carved with the queen's sigil. Serene retrieved the chalice of stars from the altar, its silver surface etched with constellations that glowed faintly. Alder arranged the items around a circular dais at the temple's heart, where the dawn crystal would be placed once reclaimed from Darius. As they prepared, the air grew heavy, the curse's hum rising to a deafening wail. Shadows coalesced into ghost guardians, their spectral forms clad in armor that flickered like dying stars, their blades glinting with malice. Cairn's heart surged with fear, a cold wave that threatened to sweep him under. But he drew his blade, standing beside Serene and Alder. You cannot claim the crystal, the lead guardian intoned, its voice a chorus of shattered hopes. The queen's justice was righteous. Her betrayers deserved their fate, and you, thieves, deserve yours. The crystal holds her will, her pain. Why should we let you defile it? Is vengeance not justice when the wronged have no other voice? Speak or perish. Cairn's emotions churned, a maelstrom of doubt and defiance, like a ship tossed in a storm. Vengeance isn't justice when it punishes the innocent. The queen's pain doesn't justify erasing a kingdom, stealing memories, taking lives. I've lost too much to this curse. Maybe my sister, maybe my past. I don't know what's real anymore, but I know this isn't right. Let us try to fix it. The crystal's power can end this, can't it? Don't you want peace? The guardian's eyes flared, its blade lowering slightly. Peace is a dream the queen abandoned. Her justice was to make the world feel her loss, her children, her crown, her name. Vengeance gave her power when all else failed. You seek to undo her will, but at what cost? The crystal demands sacrifice. Are you prepared to lose what you love most? Alder stepped forward, his staff glowing. The queen's vengeance trapped her as much as us. Justice heals. Vengeance destroys. Let us try. The guardians parted, their forms fading, but the air crackled with warning. Cairn's relief was fleeting, a fragile spark in the darkness of his fear. Darius appeared at the temple's threshold, the dawn crystal glowing in his hands, its light casting shadows that danced like specters of regret. Serene's face hardened, her loyalty to Cairn a flame that flickered against the betrayal she now contemplated. Cairn's heart ached, a poetic wound of trust unraveling, as he sensed her shift. The crystal's mine, Cairn, Serene said, her voice breaking like glass underfoot. I've watched you chase Lila's ghost, but I'm losing myself too. Every dawn, my memories fade. My family, my home. The curse promised me clarity if I take the crystal. I'm sorry, but I can't keep fading. You'd do the same, wouldn't you? Don't make me fight you. Cairn's emotions shattered, a mosaic of betrayal and love, each shard cutting deeper. Serene, we were family. You stood by me when I had nothing but hope. This isn't you, it's the curse talking. Give me the crystal. We can break it together. Don't throw us away for a promise it won't keep. Please, Serene, don't do this. She shook her head, tears glinting like stars. I have to. I'm sorry. Darius handed her the crystal, his smirk a blade in Cairn's heart. But as Serene raised it to begin the ritual, The temple shook, the guardians returning in a surge of shadow. Alder acted first, his staff blazing as he pushed Cairn aside. "Finish the ritual," he shouted, his voice a beacon of sacrifice in the chaos. Alder drove his staff into the dais, chanting words that burned the air. The guardians converged, their blades piercing him, his blood staining the mosaic floor. His eyes met Cairn's, a final gift of resolve. As he collapsed, his sacrifice a poem of courage written in crimson. Cairn lunged for the crystal, but Serene's desperation was faster. She smashed it against the dais, and it shattered into 3 pieces, their light flaring like dying suns. The temple quaked, the curse's wail deafening. Serene grabbed one shard, Darius another, and the third skittered into the shadows, claimed by a figure cloaked in mist, a stranger whose eyes glowed with the curse's hunger. As dawn broke, the kingdom dissolved, Serene and Darius vanishing with their shards. Cairn clutched Alder's staff, his emotions a tempest of grief and rage. As the stranger's silhouette faded into the mist, the third shard a promise of new danger. Kyrain stood atop the fractured summit of Kronos Tower, where black glass shards jutted like broken teeth, reflecting a sky ablaze with crimson and violet stars. The howling winds carried a sharp ozone tang, biting his lungs, a metallic hymn to Aurora's fading pulse. Cracked obsidian tiles crunched underfoot, their surfaces slick with luminescent mist that coiled like spectral serpents, pulsing with the curse's dying heartbeat. On a weathered granite altar, ritual tools gleamed. A celestial compass, its brass frame etched with constellations, its needle spinning wildly as if chasing lost galaxies, and 3 vials of liquid starlight, their contents swirling with silver and gold, their glass cool and smooth, casting prismatic beams that danced like fireflies. Liana, her silver-threaded robes frayed, arranged the tools with trembling hands, her fingers brushing the velvety texture of the altar's runes, each one pulsing faintly, as if whispering Aurora's secrets. Kyrain's heart was a shattered mirror, each fragment reflecting loss. Lila's laughter, Liona's wisdom, Alder's sacrifice. A mosaic of grief that held a glimmer of salvation. His memories flickered, fragile as a moth's wings, their truth questioned by the curse's deceit. Was Lila's smile his, or a cruel forgery? The dawn crystal shards in his pack burned, their warmth a chain binding him to Aurora's fate, a lifeline to redemption or a noose of despair. His soul ached, a wound bleeding hope, each drop a prayer to save his sister, to save himself. Could he break the curse without losing all he was? The question clawed at him, a beast gnawing his resolve. Yet he clung to the shard's light, a beacon in the fog of his fading past. Darius emerged from the shadows, transformed into a crystal beast, his flesh warping into faceted shards that gleamed like fractured diamonds, his arms twisting into elongated tendrils, their surfaces jagged and pulsing with the dawn crystal's malevolent light. His chest was a lattice of crystalline spikes, each one shrieking like shattering glass, a piercing cacophony that tore the air, echoing off the glass spire. The ozone smell intensified, sharp and electric, burning Kyrain's nostrils as Darius's eyes glowed like twin suns, their light searing the mist. His movements were jerky, mechanical, his humanity dissolving into a grotesque fusion, his skin cracking, revealing glistening crystal veins that pulsed with a sickly rhythm. Kyrain's blade flashed, slashing a tendril, its severed end exploding in a spray of sparkling dust, the sound a high-pitched wail that stung his ears. Kyrain's heart pounded, a drum of rage and betrayal, each beat a memory of Darius's laughter, now lost to greed, a wound that bled salvation through defiance. "I stole the crystal," Darius roared, his voice grinding, like gears in a broken machine. "It promised power, but cursed us." Kyrain, dodging a tendril's lash, felt the rough obsidian bite his palms as he rolled, striking, his blade carving a gash that oozed dark ichor. The tower trembled, glass shards raining, their clatter a chorus of chaos. Kyrane's soul was a furnace, burning with loss. Darius, once a brother, now a monster, a fire forging salvation, yet threatening to consume him. He lunged, slashing, his heart a cry for Lila, for Aurora, each strike a desperate plea to end the curse. The Memory Keeper's ghost surged, led by Malachi, his obsidian eyes blazing, his merchant's robes now spectral, trailing ink-like shadows that coiled, binding Kyrane's limbs with a velvety grip. Their spectral quills scratched the air, each stroke summoning writhing shadows. Their whispers a chorus of lost names, their musty scent like old parchment filling the tower. Malachi's voice echoed, "Memory is a chain, binding soul to sorrow." Liana, chanting, raised her staff, its crystal flaring, casting blinding arcs that sliced shadows, their forms dissolving, wailing like wind through cracked glass. Kyrane, struggling, broke free, his blade slashing, each strike a pulse of defiance, the smooth steel warm in his hands. His heart was a storm, loss a wave crashing against hope, each ghost a reminder of Aurora's fated souls, their intervention a salvation born from their own demise. The ghosts' quills faltered, their ink fading, a tapestry of loss unraveling to reveal redemption's thread. Kyrane's mind flashed to the starlit plaza, the crescent key glowing, shadows taking the watcher. His scream a loss that sparked salvation, like a spark igniting a pyre. Malachi's form flickered, his voice soft. "We aid you, but the curse hungers." Liana's light burned brighter, her staff trembling, her sacrifice a melody of loss, singing salvation through her fading spark. Kyrane's soul ached, a wound of gratitude, each ghost a star fallen to light his path, their intervention a fragile hope against the dawn. Queen Alithia's ghost appeared, her opalescent eyes burning, her form shimmering like liquid starlight, her voice a dirge echoing off the jagged spire. "You are my blood, Kyrane," she revealed, her words a thunderclap, shaking his soul. His heart quaked, a revelation that rewrote his past. A crown of thorns inherited through centuries, a loss that crowned him with salvation's burden. The crystal shards pulsed, their smooth, warm surfaces fusing with his flesh, a painful union that marked him as Alithia's heir. His mind reeled, flashing to the caves of eternal silence, Liona's warning of the curse's hunger, her silver hair glowing against green moss, a loss that lit salvation's path. "Memory is a kingdom soul," Alethea whispered, "but yours is its key." Kyrane's emotions were a maelstrom, loss a tide carrying salvation, like a river carving a canyon to reach the sea. The tower's ozone scent grew sharper, the glass shrieks fading as Alethea's presence stabilized the summit. Kyrane's bloodline bound him to the curse, a legacy of vengeance and redemption. His heart a battlefield where loss fought for salvation, like a seed buried to bloom. "Why me?" he asked, his voice breaking, the weight of his ancestry a chain he could not break, yet one that offered hope. Kyrane, kneeling, tore at his soul, offering Lila's laughter, the pain searing, like a heart ripped to birth a miracle. The crystal shards glowed, fusing deeper, their jagged edges cutting his chest, their light a fire consuming his memories. Liana, chanting, hurled herself into the altar, her body dissolving into motes of starlight, her staff's crystal shattering, its high-pitched wail echoing. Her sacrifice was a melody of loss, a salvation sung through her fading spark, like a note held until it breaks the heart. Kyrane's mind flashed to Alder's fall, his blood staining the mosaic floor, his eyes revealing serene, a loss that burned salvation into Kyrane's soul. His heart was a requiem, each note a cry for Liana, for Lila, a loss weaving salvation, like a tapestry threaded with grief. The tower quaked, a magical earthquake splitting the glass spire, the ozone tang choking the air. Liana's light merged with the crystal, sealing its power, her loss a star falling to light the dark, a salvation carved from sacrifice. Kyrane's soul bled, the crystal's fusion a wound that promised redemption, yet stole his past, like a book burning to save its story. Aurora shimmered, transforming into the realm of echoes, a paradise of spectral spires glowing with eternal light, their smooth surfaces reflecting memories that danced like fireflies. The ozone scent faded, replaced by a sweet jasmine breeze. The hum silenced as the kingdom became a memory eternal, no longer vanishing. Kyrane's heart was a broken harp, its strings singing loss, yet playing salvation, like a song echoing in an empty hall. The crystal, fused in his chest, pulsed, a heart of Aurora's soul, a loss that birthed salvation, like a star collapsing to birth a galaxy. His mind flashed to the flower, its golden petals whispering Lila's name, a loss that sparked salvation, like a seed blooming in ash. The starlight rain fell, each silver droplet a memory of Aurora, its cool touch a balm on Kyrane's wounds. The realm of echoes was a dream preserved, a kingdom of loss transformed into salvation, like a painting holding a world soul. Kyrane founded the Dawn Library, a spectral archive of glowing scrolls, their parchment texture warm, preserving Aurora's story. Darius returned, reborn as a child, his eyes blank, memories erased, a loss offering salvation, like a slate wiped clean. Kyrane's heart was a shattered mirror, reflecting loss, yet shining salvation, like a beacon in fog. The library stood, a monument to Liana, its stone walls gleaming under starlight rain, a final elegy for Aurora's keepers. In the kingdom of forgetfulness, only madmen write history,